Om. Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. All of us go through challenges. That is the nature of creation. Whenever you're going through a challenge, try to remember it can always be worse. This helps us to adopt the right narrative that these are just challenges and not problems. Relax the body, enjoy the breath, and pray with the mind. A seeker in our community, Rama from Chantilly, her son has undergone an injury and is requiring nerve grafting surgery. This is a serious matter, and I'm asking her to remember that it can always be worse. For all of us to offer our physical health and mental health to this young seeker. Tejasvinavaditamastu. May he shine again, may she shine again, may we all shine again. Traditionally, when we begin our classes, our workshops, and so on, we chant prayers or invocations. And you know the order is towards Bhagwan Vinayaka, then Bhagavati Saraswati, and then to our Shri Guru. Yes, everyone? You hear me chant this every day in our classes. However, from a practical narrative, the order is to be reversed. First, to our Shri Guru, our Sadguru, it is only on account of our guide that we can access Amma. That is where Bhagavati Saraswati comes. She is an icon of knowledge. She holds the Veda in her hand. On account of the Ma, our trajectory becomes divinity. The word Vinayaka means the one who is humble and leads. Those who are humble and lead are divine. I'm sharing this with you because yesterday I was mentioning how the culture that we're trying to create at our ashram in Niagara and Cleveland, in Meaningful Mornings, our virtual community, it is one of reflection. When we reflect, insights are revealed, are felt. And that is why there is such a strong presence of the second generation in Niagara, in Cleveland, in Meaningful Mornings, in all that we do. This is the difference between an event and a movement. Bhagavad Gita's chapter 18, the yoga to sannyasa to moksha. Making these words more relatable, the tyaga to sannyasa to moksha. Making this even more relatable, tyaga is to support, and serve. If you do this, then sannyasa, which is to surrender. If you do this, then moksha, or serenity. As we are engaging in supporting and serving, this really means we are giving up what we are holding on to. We start with supporting, that is giving up resources. In Sanskrit, dana. Then giving up time. We do that through serving. That would be tapa. Already time burns us so much. Can you burn time by becoming more organized, prioritizing? If you follow through with, you're intentionally living, supporting and serving, you will naturally give effort. Tyaga will naturally lead to yajna or sannyasa. You don't have to force this. Even if you do force this, there'll be no feeling behind it. When I had asked everyone yesterday, are you understanding this chapter so far? Some of you didn't have your hand up. So I'm really trying to hash this out for you to understand and not get lost in the words. Sharing as you're giving up resources, time. This is a practice in viraga. Viraga means detachment. Viraga means not having a passion for oneself, but a passion for another, others, and so on. This is like loving, but there's still a trace of I. I am loving. There is still deservership, so one has to keep on practicing. I am going to love without getting. If one follows through with this viraga evolves to anuraga. Anuraga means love. Not the love we have for our families or the love we have for our communities. I mean the love, which is only for divinity. That's where I love without I. Anuraga is to love, but there is no I. That's the evolution from giving up deservership to giving up doership. I was interacting with a family, and I won't give all of the details, but this family, the father was telling me that he's always wanted to study the Mahabharata. But his mother told him he never could as long as he's a non-vegetarian. And he's only a few years younger than me. And it really made me feel sad that his mother taught him that nama and rupa is more important than guna. His mother taught him that the externalities about whether you've showered or not, whether you eat meat or not, is more important than his want, his passion to study the Mahabharata. I told him, join Meaningful Mornings, join Dialogue with Dharma. You come as you are. Dress the way you want, eat the way you want. Your mother can't change you. Mahabharata can change you. When we are giving so much to externality, we have no resources, time, or effort to give to that which is important, which is the internal, that is changing our gunas. My final trying to connect the dots before we move on to the next verse. Giving up deservership is renouncing. Giving up doership is sannyasa. When one has given up deservership and doership, then they feel divinity. And that's what the final section of Bhagavad Gita, and now we're in the final chapter, is all about. Asi. Tyaga triggers sannyasa, sannyasa triggers asi. And in the last verse specifically, we are now in chapter 18. Shri Krishna has already trained us to not act to get that which is gross. Tyaga, that is to act, not trying to get that which is subtle. Sannyasa, it is to act, not trying to get that which is causal. Asi is where you stop acting to get, but you're acting out of fulfillment. I feel like I've shared 10 frameworks in the last 10 minutes. Hold on to what you understand. Shri Krishna is flowing through a framework of those who engage in sannyasa out of tama, or darkness, that is not real. That is freeze. Now in this verse, those who engage in sannyasa out of raja, it is not freeze, it is flight, escapism. And really, if everything I've shared over the past 10 minutes has been too dense for you, I think I'm trying to share here is you don't have to practice sannyasa. This will just happen. Dukkam ityeva yat karma kaya klesha bhayat tyaje sakritva rajasam tyagam naiva tyaga phalam labhe. Everything I've shared, joy, everything I've shared is already stated through this verse. I'm going to read the translation and then 2 paragraphs from Pujya Swami Chinmayananda. Here's the translation. He who, from fear of bodily trouble, abandons action because it is painful, thus performing a rajasic abandonment, obtains not the fruit of abandonment. The Sanskrit, the English, here are some reflections. The reflection for the first line. This clearly shows in its unsaid suggestions that a man of action and passion will readily undertake to act and fulfill his obligations if they are not painful and are not too fatiguing. I'd share this with all of you. Those who want to engage in light seva, that's them right now. It's convenient. As compared to life seva, who cares if there's pain and tiredness? I'm not concerned about convenience. Continuing with this paragraph. To become a man of action, fulfilling all obligations and performing all duties without sacrificing one's own personal comforts is no heroic life at all. Such actions have no special reward. In fact, Krishna says, he shall attain no fruit whatsoever of his abandonment. Those who cease yajna tapadana out of tama, they devolve. Those who cease yajna tapadana because they're filled with aggressiveness, they don't devolve, but they definitely don't evolve. If you have found after 1200 mornings that your evolution is not what you've hoped and prayed for, maybe this verse describes you. Now, the reflection for the second line, I like this a lot. Performance of one's obligations is itself the most glorious of all forms of tyaga, and it can be considered doubly so when it involves a certain amount of sacrifice of one's own personal convenience and bodily comfort. I shared with all of you in chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita. Courage is not heli-skiing. Courage is not jumping out of a plane. Courage is waking up every morning with a smile that I have lots to do today, and I'm going to do this for my Krishna. That's what courage is. Too much. Okay, I have to finish. From inspiration to application. Your application yesterday was to come up with a reminder to live by Yajna Tapadana. Can anyone show me their reminder for me? None, Vivekji. You have taught us to internalize, so we don't externalize in any which way whatsoever. We don't even live this. That's how much we don't externalize. I would like to see, you can send images to our team and they'll share this with me. Your application for this morning is, I'm giving you 6 weeks notice. On Wednesday, May 8th, that is the 108th birth anniversary of Why We Know Each Other. If Pujya Swami Chinmayananda were not born, we wouldn't know each other. I told a recent group of seekers that my wife and I met at a Chinmay mission camp when we were in high school. My wife and I re-met after 7 years after a discourse that Pujya Swami Tejramananda was speaking at. So my wife, my kids, etc. would not exist if it weren't for Pujya Swami Chinmayananda. So on Wednesday, May 8th at 7 a.m., for an entire hour that includes meaningful mornings, we will celebrate our connection to contentment. The teaching of Bhagavad Gita is to be content. We're celebrating this connection. And so I leave you with a verse that really describes a quote that describes Pujya Swami Chinmayananda in a most amazing way. Peace in the world is everybody's business. No matter where you live or what you do. This is by Elizabeth Williams. Pujya Swami Chinmayananda felt that, correct? He's living in northern Bharat, feeling contentment. But he felt that peace is everybody's business. It doesn't matter where he's living or what he's feeling. He wanted and wants everyone to feel the same. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be joy.